Hello, everyone, and welcome from Bangkok, Thailand. My name is Netsuphatra Vanit, and I am the co founder of Isla Generation, a social enterprise that creates human centered, innovative solutions to foster gender equality and inclusion. It is my honor today to be moderating today's showcase promoting the creative expression of youth living in Thailand in the spirit of generation equality. For those of you that don't know, the Generation Equality Campaign demands equal pay, equal sharing of unpaid care and domestic work, an end to sexual harassment and all forms of violence against women and girls, healthcare services that respond to their needs, and equal participation in political life and decision making. Today's event is the sixth and final event organized in collaboration between UN Women, Regional Office for Asia and the Pacific, the Embassy of France in Thailand, and the Embassy of Mexico in Thailand, under the framework of the Generation Equality Forum, a multi-stakeholder civil society-centered global gathering, which started in Mexico City from the 29th to the 31st of March and will culminate in just a few days in Paris from 30th of June to the 2nd of July, 2021. Since January, one event per month has taken place in Thailand to raise awareness on the importance of urgent joint action for gender equality. Topics including women in science, women leaders in climate change, women in the workplace, women's economic empowerment, and women's bodily autonomy and sexual and reproductive health rights that have been explored by a variety of local and international stakeholders in the context of Thailand. The goal of today's event is to invite young people in Thailand to engage in the conversation held so far and to reflect on the 6 themes of the Generation Equality Coalitions, Gender Equality Action Coalitions, through creative expressions in performing arts, visual arts, and rhetorical expressions. While it would have been wonderful to convene in person, we would have wanted to prioritize the safety of our applicants and our team to bring you today's event. We hope you enjoyed this online format, and thank you in advance for sticking around to witness the immense talent from youth in Thailand. Before we break down the action coalitions and dive into the incredible submissions we've received, I'd like to give the floor to Mohammed Nasiri, Regional Director of UN Women Regional Office for Asia and the Pacific, to offer his opening remarks before the 2 co-host countries of the forum.
I would like to welcome all of you to this event and look forward to an exciting exposition today. Personally, I'm thrilled to be involved in an event aiming to inspire and empower the next generation of young champions of gender equality through the arts. Thank you to everyone attending and participating today, and a special thanks to the embassies of Mexico and France in Thailand for co-hosting this event along with my colleagues at UN Women Asia Pacific. It is the last of the series of events we have worked on together as we prepare for the Generation Equality Forum in Paris, and I am grateful for the close collaboration we have enjoyed throughout this period. It is fitting that we culminate this collaboration with a celebratory event where we can witness the artistic visions and hopeful narratives of this talented and conscientious young generation. Globally, women continue to face discrimination, marginalization, and violence based on their gender, including unequal access to education and leadership positions. As we have long seen throughout the Asia-Pacific region and across the globe, the structures that perpetuate inequality are often rooted in rigid, outdated mindsets. The true power of art lies in its ability to continually challenge and alter the attitudes that perpetuate these long-standing inequalities. Throughout history, artists have been dedicated to bringing about social change through their work, with hopes of impacting their audiences, but society itself. Art can reveal a great deal about our past, present, and possible future. It can expose aspects of behaviors of culture that might otherwise be overlooked, illuminating the inequities present in our homes, schools, workplaces, and communities. It is undeniable that the arts can have a significant influence on the perceptions of women and girls, which is why UN Women is proud of its support in this area. Yet, we must do so while remembering how women have traditionally been excluded from the business of the arts. In fact, a report released by UNESCO just last week indicated that despite recent progress towards gender equality, there continues to be a significant gender gap in the creative and cultural industries. And so, platforms such as these that bring to light works that focus on issues of inequality can also spotlight the skills and contributions of young people, regardless of gender, to the arts to empower and inspire others. As the Generation Equality Forum unfolds, it has been inspiring to see events like these that highlighted the initiative and creativity of young people in support of gender equality. In this sense, we can visualize our dream of an equal planet as being within reach. I look forward to seeing your creative approaches to address issues that impact so many lives across time and generations. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nasseri. I would now like to invite Her Excellency Elizabeth Moreno, French Minister Delegate for Gender Equality, Diversity and Equal Opportunities attached to the Prime Minister, to share her remarks.
Ladies and gentlemen, Sawadika, bonjour. I'm happy to talk to you today in Thailand and throughout Asia Pacific on the eve of the largest international gathering for women's rights in over 25 years, the Generation Equality Forum, which France will host from 30th of June to 2nd of July. In close partnership with UN Women and Mexico, this forum will bring together tens of thousands of people, heads of state and government, international organizations, as well as representatives of civil society, youth, and the private sector. This event reminds us that in the 21st century, the fight for equality is still relevant. It is more so than ever in the context of the current pandemic, which disproportionately affects vulnerable people, firstly women, in many countries. This fight is more relevant than ever at a time when growing opposition seeks to relegate women to the domestic sphere and strongly constrains the sustainable development of societies. I want to say loud and clear that women's rights are universal and should be upheld on a daily basis. France is resolutely committed to this fight for equality, which Emmanuel Macron, the President of the French Republic, has made the great cause of his 5-year term. As he said, France should no longer be one of those countries where women live in fear. At the national level, for example, since 2017, 4 laws have been voted to protect women and 46 measures were adopted to combat all forms of violence against women. President Macron's great cause is also a global cause. Internationally, feminist diplomacy is a top priority of our foreign policy at the United Nations, where every word negotiated in favor of women's rights counts. At the G7, whose French presidency in 2019 was dedicated to the fight against inequality, and in many countries where France seeks to support the strengthening of women's rights in partnership with the authorities and local populations. In this context, youth is a strong priority of our action. You are the agent of change who design tomorrow's world and invent solutions to live better together. This is why I want to thank you all for your participation in this competition. Even if you do not win today, the fight for equality between women and men will have progressed a little further thanks to you, thanks to your commitment. I thank you all and I wish you the very best of success.
Thank you, Your Excellency Moreno, and for your government's strong commitment to championing the Generation Equality campaign. Last but not least, I will now turn over to His Excellency Bernardo Cordova, Mexican Ambassador to Thailand. Your Excellency, the floor is yours.
Hi, good morning, afternoon, and evening to everyone. I am very satisfied for the achievement of 6 months of activism in Thailand, in which we promoted the Generation Equality Forum, its goals, and its commitments to accelerate gender equality. This closure is remarked by a very special activity which the Embassy of Mexico in Thailand has been very honored to be part of, a focus on the value of artistic expression to expose, empower, and raise awareness. Congratulations to all the participants for your ability to prove talent and raise equality awareness. You are all winners. I would like to thank the Embassy of France in Thailand and the United Nations Women, Asia, and the Pacific for this joint effort to raise awareness and to accelerate the achievement of a more equal world regardless of sex and gender. I would also like to express my gratitude and recognition to our various valuable partners involved in Thailand, France, Mexico, Asia, and beyond, from government, youth, civil society, academy, and private sector, who made this 6 months agenda an eye-opener discussions of the so many challenges still faced by women around the world. In order to achieve full gender equality, we must continue through the feminist pathway until awareness and justice reach every society in every corner of the world. Thank you very much. Kapun Krab. Muchas gracias.
With the commitment of UN Women and the embassies of Mexico and France, the Generation Equality Forum brings together the next generations of women's rights activists, including youth activists, who have submitted their works with us. Today, we will hear and witness from the rising generation who are realizing women's rights for an equal future through creative and artistic expression. On the 3rd of June, a call for submissions to youth living in Thailand between the ages of 15 and 24 was launched, encouraging them to submit creative projects in performing arts, visual arts, and rhetorical expression. The one key element required for all submissions was to reflect on one or all of the 6 key themes of the Action Coalition blueprints, including gender-based violence, economic justice and rights, bodily autonomy and sexual and reproductive health rights, feminist action for climate justice, technology and innovation for gender equality, and feminist movements and leadership. From about 40 submissions, UN Women Regional Office for Asia and the Pacific, along with the embassies of France and Mexico and Thailand, convened with a team of topical and industry experts to select the 9 most creative works which most closely embody the themes of the Generation Equality Forum. We will now get to witness the creations from some of Thailand's most imaginative and passionate minds across 3 categories: performing arts, visual arts, and rhetorical expression. Following the presentation of works, be sure to stick around for an award ceremony with a wide array of exciting prizes and to hear a surprise message from renowned Thai singer and activist Pat Clear. We will first see the nominated works from the performing arts category. We will first see the work of Piang Ravi Sirisuk called Peeling, which will then be followed by the projects of the Mupa dance group Inaudible Sound and another group submission.
วัสดีค่ะท่านผู้ชมทุกท่านดิฉันชื่อลูกไม้เป็นหัวหน้าชุมนุมนาฏศิลป์ต่อจากนี้ไปทุกคนจะได้รับชมเรื่องราวที่ลูกไม้จะนำเสนอนี่คือโรงเรียนแห่งหนึ่งที่ลูกไม้ได้ศึกษาอยู่โดยในโรงเรียนของลูกไม้จะมีคติหนึ่งที่เชื่อว่าผู้ชายนั้นจะมีความเป็นผู้นำที่ยอดเยี่ยมกว่าทุกเพศและได้รับการยอมรับจากคุณครูเป็นกรณีพิเศษและเรื่องราวต่อจากนี้จะทำให้ทุกคนมีความคิดที่มีกันยาวนานได้เปลี่ยนไป
นี่แกได้ยินข่าวปะที่เขาบอกว่าซันกับลูกไม้อะแย่งกันจะเป็นหัวหน้าชุมนุมอะ
ฉันเห็นแล้วแหละ2 คนนั้นอะจะเข้าได้ไงฉันละปวดหัวจริงๆอีกคนนึงนะก็มันหน้าเกินแกก็รู้ใช่ปะว่าโรงเรียนเราอะมีธรรมเนียมว่าให้ผู้ชายล้วนเป็น
ใช่แล้วแต่ว่าแบบชุมนุมเราอะมันก็ไม่ได้มีผู้ชายไงเพราะว่าเราเรียนนาฏศิลป์ใช่ปะมันก็จะมีแบบว่าประเภท
แต่แหววใช่ปะ
ใช่
แล้วแกคิดว่าใครจะได้วะ
เพราะว่าไม่เหมาะสมทั้ง2 คนเลยวะแบบไม่มีคุณสมบัติเพียบพร้อมมาเพราะว่าผู้ชายอะเรารู้ว่ามันเข้ากว่าแต่มันหาไม่ได้ไง
แล้วใครตกลงใครจะเป็นนี่ปวดหัว
เราไม่อยากเลือกใครเลย
ปวดแล้วไปกินขนมดีกว่า
เพราะลูกไม้คิดที่จะอยากเปลี่ยนแปลงค่ะ
ซันนะคะซันคิดว่าการเป็นผู้นำไม่จำเป็นต้องขึ้นอยู่ว่าจะเป็นผู้ชายหรือผู้หญิงนะคะสำหรับซันคิดว่าศักยภาพเท่านั้นค่ะถึงจะเป็นผู้นำได้ดีค่ะไม่ว่าจะเป็นผู้ชายหรือผู้หญิงซันคิดว่าซันทำได้ซันคือผู้ชายที่แข็งแรงและจิตใจที่อ่อนโยนของซันจะพาทุกคนก้าวไปสู่ฝันแห่งความเป็นดาวนาฏศิลป์ของเราได้ค่ะขอบคุณค่ะ
ฉันเห็นด้วยนะแกค่ะสำหรับการคัดเลือกหัวหน้าชุมนุมครั้งนี้นะคะลูกไม้อยากจะแสดงศักยภาพให้ทุกคนเห็นว่าลูกไม้ก็ทำได้เท่าเทียมกับผู้ชายนะคะซึ่งทุกๆปีก็จะเห็นว่าผู้ชายจะเป็นผู้นำในทุกๆเรื่องและผู้ชายจะเป็นที่ยอมรับของสังคมในการนำหลายๆอย่างเช่นเป็นหัวหน้าชุมนุมต่างๆนะคะซึ่งลูกไม้คิดต่างกันค่ะเพราะว่าลูกไม้คิดว่าลูกไม้ก็มีความสามารถเหมือนกันและลูกไม้จะทำทุกอย่างให้มันพัฒนายิ่งขึ้นให้ทุกคนเห็นค่ะคุณค่ะ
เลือกยากมากเลยแกแล้วถ้าเป็นแกจะเลือกใครวะ
เป็นฉันก็เลือกไม่ถูกเหมือนกันเลยวะทั้ง2 คนเนี่ยมีทัศนคติที่น่าสนใจทั้งคู่เลยนะถ้ามองข้ามเรื่องเพศหรือว่าสิ่งที่โรงเรียนเราตั้งแง่คิดว่ามันต้องเป็นผู้ชายที่เป็นผู้นำอะทั้ง2 คนก็มีทัศนคติที่ดีนะเว้ย
ใช่ดูอย่างซันสิก็พูดดีนะฉันชอบมากเลยคำที่บอกว่าผู้ชายจิตใจอ่อนโยนอะแต่ฉันว่าเขามีดีนะเขาน่าจะได้เป็นเหมือนกันนะเนี่ยแล้วแกว่าลูกไม้ล่ะ
ฉันว่าลูกไม้ก็มีทัศนคติดีนะเพราะว่าลูกไม้ก็ดูมุ่งมั่นที่จะทำให้ชุมนุมของเราพัฒนาแล้วก็ไปได้ไกลแล้วก็เป็นสิ่งที่โดดเด่นในโรงเรียนอะ
อย่างนี้ชุมนุมเราก็ต้องเปลี่ยนใหม่แล้วแหละสิฉันว่าน่าจะได้ทั้ง2 คนแล้วเนี่ย
ให้2 คนช่วยกันบริหารงานน่าจะช่วยส่งเสริมศักยภาพในชุมนุมเราให้ดีขึ้นเนาะ
ใช่
งั้นเราเลือกทั้ง2 คนเลยดีกว่า
ไปโอเคไปบอกกันดีกว่า
และนี่ก็คือเรื่องราวที่ลูกไม้ต้องการนำเสนอทั้งหมดจะเห็นได้ว่าตอนนี้ทัศนคติของคนในชุมนุมได้เปลี่ยนไปแล้วและมันจะเป็นการนำไปสู่การเปลี่ยนแปลงทัศนคติและความคิดของคนทั้งโรงเรียนจนถึงสังคมและประเทศชาติหากทุกคนให้ความสำคัญกับความเท่าเทียมทางเพศประเทศไทยจะมีการเคารพสิทธิ์ของผู้อื่นและอยู่ด้วยกันอย่างมีความสุข
Thank you to all the performing artists for submitting their projects. It's inspiring to see how the chosen works have all taken a very different approach to creative expression. Yet it's fascinating to see how they've all succeeded in displaying a powerful message. Let's now turn to the visual arts and see what topics artists have decided to explore. I must say that it was difficult for the jury to select only 3 works out of so many qualified and creative visual artworks that showed the many ways to visualize women's challenges in terms of equality. Charlene Chen with A Man's World, the Dragonfly Teen Initiative with Education is My Voice, and Midnight Blues from Sophie Smith. Over to you.
My name is Charlene, and I am currently 17 years old, and the title of my piece is A Man's World. I initially encountered this project, Youth Voices for Generation Equality, because of my art teacher, and I was captivated by the level of creativity that could stem from it, as well as the intentions behind the project. A Man's World is a piece that shows 4 women breaking into a picture and including themselves into a group photo that is predominantly male. And this piece depicts the lack of female representation in the Congress or any form of leadership position, therefore reflecting the Action Coalition female movement and leadership, which calls for increased female participation and inclusion of female voices in decision-making roles. The picture frame in this piece represents the barriers that are placed down, which excludes women from such roles, as they are rarely included into the picture, and even when they are included, their opinions are often overlooked because of them being the minority. The act of breaking the frame and entering the photo serves to encourage women to stand up for themselves and pave a way towards gender equality. And even if we are not handed opportunities or welcomed, we can bring our own folding chairs and make it clear that gender equality in leadership needs to happen now. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Alexis.
And I'm Sammy. We are Year 12 students from Bangkok Patana School who created the Education is My Voice campaign.
Our campaign is a conceptual photo exhibition where each of the 6 photos we have created takes you through the story of a teenage pregnancy and the dire consequences this has.
Inspired by Thailand's teen pregnancy epidemic, the objectification of women, and gravitation towards victim blaming, this contemporary representation of a life story is one that we have amalgamated from months of research into real-life stories, statistics, and trends.
Along with this, each photo also comes with a short caption that acts like a guided narrative through this story. Liberating from conventional means of artistic expression, our 6 photos delineate the unspoken stages and publicly unknown consequences of a girl's pregnancy, how her freedom, rights, and opportunities have been replaced with responsibilities, burdens, and tribulations.
We strongly believe this project and its core values align perfectly with the principles of the Generation Equality campaign, especially under the Action Coalition of Bodily Autonomy and Sexual and Reproductive Health and Rights. With a platform as vast as yours, we hope to become a small part of this action-oriented community, and by entering this competition, it is the first step towards this goal.
Constructing each image with careful consideration of color, composition, and light, we strive to raise awareness and socially advocate sexual and reproductive health and rights for women, especially shining light on how decisions about women's bodies are usually made without their input.
We hope that through this holistic experience, we provide audiences with thought-provoking imagery and symbolism that shifts perspectives and creates various interpretations of the art. It is a different way of presenting an issue so prevalent to our society, a society that we believe can be proof that women can and have started already achieving great things.
We are part of a world full of passionate, driven change makers who are entitled to pursue their dreams.
The girl in our story has walked a path that 1.5 million other Thai girls have walked over the past decade.
Thank you for letting her be the voice and image who will not be silenced any longer. Thank you for letting us be heard.
Hi, my name is Sophie, I'm 17 and I'm from the UK, but I've lived in Thailand for the last 8 years of my life. My piece, Midnight Blues, is a representation of emotional trauma that's often neglected by society because of its intangibility. The normalization of this abuse in media and in real life isolate these victims, so I believe it's important that we reinstate the meaning and value of the victims' experiences. The name Midnight Blues is significant because the trauma of this form of abuse is often rekindled late at night when it's easy to feel isolated from the world around oneself and become lost in a negative train of thought. I really hope that audiences can see this through the distortion of the face and how people can tear themselves apart over the past and what was spoken. It's important that we begin to erase the stigma surrounded by the emotional abuse to help elevate victims rather than force them into a corner alone, which is one of the reasons why I entered.
Now that we've heard from visual and performing artists, it's time to switch gears and listen to the courageous voices of our selected youth activists who use voice as their power tool. Those who choose words in the shape of speeches and poems were included in the rhetorical expressions category. We'll now hear from Natcha Pimon-Satien with the poem entitled Tasey Village, and Madison Mehta with a video narration called Fortified Fortress, and Onisha Sitli Udom Seth with her own proposal of 5 R's for economic justice, who will impress us with their words.
ชุมชนเทซี่เขาว่ากันว่าผู้คนรักใคร่กันดีบางคนบอกอีกว่าสงบสุขดีบางทีก็เงียบสงบดีชุมชนเทซี่เหตุใดถึงเงียบสงบในเมื่อเสียงรถราดังตลอดวันเสียงเพลงดังครื้นเครงอยู่บ่อยครั้งชุมชนเทซี่สิ่งใดกันไม่ได้ส่งเสียงหรือจะเป็นแค่การเปรียบเปรยจากชื่อที่แปลว่าเด็กผู้หญิงเงียบชุมชนเทซี่เด็กผู้หญิงเงียบจริงหรือคงจะไม่จริงกระมังผู้หญิงทุกช่วงวัยที่นี่พูดได้ทุกคนชุมชนเทซี่ได้ชื่อนี้แต่ใดมาในเมื่อมีตั้งแต่เสียงร้องของทารกหญิงไปจนถึงเสียงบ่นของหญิงชราชุมชนเทซี่ได้โปรดช่วยบอกทีความเงียบปริศนานี้ซ่อนอยู่ที่ใดความเงียบปริศนานี้เกี่ยวข้องกับชื่อหรือไม่ชุมชนเทซี่เหตุใดผู้หญิงหลายคนมีดวงตาอันหม่นหมองทั้งที่ปากแดงขยับพูดเจ้ยแจ้วแต่ในดวงตาซ่อนความเจ็บปวดและความกลัวชุมชนเทซี่เกิดอะไรขึ้นกับเหล่าหญิงสาวนักซ่อนเหตุใดถึงต้องซ่อนความเจ็บปวดและความกลัวถามใครเขาก็ไม่ยอมตอบชุมชนเทซี่เหตุใดทุกคนเงียบใส่คำถามเรื่องนักซ่อนทำเหมือนไม่มีอะไรเกิดขึ้นแต่เบลล่าทำตัวมีพิรุธชุมชนเทซี่เกิดอะไรขึ้นกับเบลล่าเจ้าตัวไม่ยอมตอบแต่เอมิลี่น่าจะรู้ชุมชนเทซี่เอมิลี่เผลอพูดบางอย่างออกมาบางคืนเบลล่าร้องเสียงดังเมื่อวันก่อนเบลล่าวิ่งไล่เคาะประตูเพื่อนบ้านชุมชนเทซี่เบลล่าไปเจออะไรมาเอมิลี่บอกแค่ว่าเป็นเรื่องของครอบครัวเขาผู้ใหญ่สอนว่าอย่ายุ่งเรื่องครอบครัวคนอื่นชุมชนเทซี่มีใครช่วยเบลล่าไหมไม่มีเลยหรือไม่มีใครได้ยินเสียงของเบลล่าเลยหรือชุมชนเทซี่เบลล่าอดทนจนร้องออกมาเบลล่าอ้อนวอนต่อเพื่อนบ้านพร้อมแสดงรอยแผลให้ดูแต่ไม่มีใครช่วยเธอชุมชนเทซี่เหตุใดเสียงดังยังถูกเพิกเฉยเหตุใดตอนนี้เบลล่าถึงเงียบเหตุใดถึงทำให้ความรุนแรงเป็นเรื่องเงียบชุมชนเทซี่เกิดอะไรขึ้นกับหญิงสาวนักซ่อนคนอื่นถูกใครทำร้ายบ้างมีทั้งคนแปลกหน้าและคนใกล้ชิดอย่างนั้นหรือชุมชนเทซี่มีใครช่วยหญิงสาวนักซ่อนบ้างไหมคงจะไม่มีใครช่วยกระมังพวกเธอถึงได้เงียบและเก็บความขมขื่นไว้ชุมชนเทซี่นี่สินะคือความเงียบที่ซ่อนอยู่ใต้รูขุมขนนี่สินะคือที่มาของชื่อสถานที่แห่งนี้สถานที่ต้องคำสาปชุมชนเทซี่เปลี่ยนชื่อดีไหมความเงียบอันน่าเจ็บปวดจะได้หายไปหญิงสาวนักซ่อนจะได้มีดวงตาที่ไม่หม่นหมอง
Hi again. This is Emily.
There's something about being a kid and being able to wear anything.
That's your camera.
There's an age where you're so certain that the space you fill is your own. You just sort of let how you feel on the inside bubble out to the surface.
This is LAX. Here's Emily. Hi.
My favorite outfit was my striped tights and overalls with bright yellow glasses. The way you present yourself to the world, a pulse, a heartbeat, your heartbeat. Sometimes when I'm going through photos, I remember. We grow older and we realize that what we wear can impact our safety. And that's not right. Mama taught me that clothes could be something that brought the you on the inside out to the surface, that the essence of your being could be woven delicately into threads, and that your personality was something that could hug your figure or hang loose at your sides. It could be tied together with a bow or decorated in paisley. Mama taught me to roll my shoulders back and tilt my chin to the sky so that the sunbeams could get caught in my hair. When your head is up high, she said, your presence, they just can't seem to deny. Mama taught me that your heart was something you could sew upon your sleeve like a patch of honor, something you could never part with, never leave. I believed her. I believed you too, you know. Now I cross my arms around my body, creating a sort of fortified fortress from your gaze, a lackluster haze. I used to pretend that I was simply unfazed. And you were praised. Somehow you thought a plunging neckline was a sign that I wanted something more, that my body was made for your hands to explore, that you could rip off the heart sewn on my sleeve until it was a tattered pile on the floor. Why do we always act like it's not that big of a deal? You took me out for an expensive meal, right? My black dress with its frills and beads was not made to impress you. I didn't draw ink black lines along my waterline to obsess you. I didn't sew my heart upon my sleeve just so you could rip it off and leave. I tried to sew it back on. It's lopsided and loose and lambent. The stitching is a railroad track of regret that I shouldn't have, that I don't deserve. The girl who stares me back in the mirror knows that. Time to dispose of that and make the most of that, she says. With her phantom-like gaze, she tries to remind me what Mama said about that beautiful person that exists inside the cavernous space that's your own head, someone whose blood still courses a vibrant, lively, bountiful red. She's not dead. I cross my arms around my body, a sort of fortified fortress from your gaze.
During this time period, it is beyond doubt that millions of people suffered financially. But do you know that even before the pandemic, there's one group of people who suffered more than anyone else? That group of people are women. Despite the movements for gender equality, the gender gap between males and females in terms of economy has not been lessened for the past 30 years. Moreover, women have to carry their burdens of their stereotypical roles, such as childcare and housework, while still having to work outside their home. Even worse, since the pandemic started, their workloads has been intensified, and 740 million of them has been working in poor condition for several long strenuous hours with low job security. And that is why many of them are leaving their jobs, despite their high qualification and high education. And that is why we need a change. We need a comprehensive measure to combat this issue. And this can be remembered as 5 Rs. Firstly, recognize. Every gender to be recognized and rewarded for the work they have done, with no gender bias. Secondly, represent. Every gender should be represented in a workplace and give constructive opinions. Thirdly, reduce. Reduce the gender gap between males and females, and also reduce the number of unemployed women. Fourthly, redistribute the employment opportunities more to women. And finally, most importantly, reform the public policies and law so that the financial opportunities will be more inclusive to these women. These women should have more access to financial resources and opportunities. Even go back to education. Gender should not be the limitation for these women to get access to educational resources, which will provide them a benefit for their employment opportunities. The future ahead is the one where everyone has the equal rights, including the employment opportunities. And this would not happen if we don't make a change. This will not happen if we don't start now. Start to act for equal.
While all the works showcased today have been inspiring and signify progress for future generations, there is only one winning prize for each of the 3 categories. The co-organizers, in consultation with gender experts and local artists, will present the winners of each respective category: a winner for performance arts, a winner for visual arts, and a winner for rhetoric expression. With COVID-19 preventing us from meeting in person, UN Women and the embassies of France and Mexico and Thailand made surprise calls to the winners of each category. Our winning prizes include certificates of recognition for each category, a chance to meet with His Excellency the Ambassador of France, a Mexican gastronomy luncheon with His Excellency the Ambassador of Mexico, a voucher for 2 for afternoon tea at the Four Seasons Chao Phraya, and the chance to travel with the UN Women Regional Director on a field mission for 3 days and 2 nights within Thailand. Let's get to notifying our winners.
So we just wanted to touch base with you and say congratulations to Kinari Siragutsuk. We're reaching out today on behalf of the French Embassy in Thailand to tell you about your submission and wanted to let you know that you've been selected as the winner for the Performing Arts category. And so you'll receive the title of Performing Artist of the Year, Youth Voices for Generation Equality 2021.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So much. Do you have a few words you wanted to say?
No, for now I'm like I don't know what should I say now.
It's okay.
Yeah, but I'm happy.
This is a surprise call to tell you that you are the winner of the visual arts category on the first place.
Thank you.
We really hope that you are happy about this announcement.
I'm really surprised.
Great. That's great. Can you share me your first impressions about this?
I really wasn't expecting much going into the competition because I thought it was just like a fun project, but it's really an honor to make it this far.
I'm calling on behalf of the regional office to tell you that, to let you know that your project has been selected as the winner of the rhetorical expressions category. And so we also wanted to share that you're officially the Rhetorician of the Year, Youth Voices for Generation Equality 2021, and to wish you a huge congratulations on winning this award.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, thank you very, very much. Like I don't.
I know it's a surprise.
Yes, very much surprised because I don't even think that my project will be selected.
you once again to all the applicants who submitted their projects. In addition to the winning prizes, all artists who were showcased today may be invited to the French residence in Bangkok for luncheon, to the Mexican residence in Bangkok for a unique gastronomy experience, and to attend the Youth Activism Accelerator by UN Women Regional Office for Asia and the Pacific in July. Additional meal vouchers to Cocotte restaurants and Philippe restaurants will also be awarded to the nominees. It's been an event filled with such memorable and impactful performances and presentations from young artists who really embody the principles of generation equality. Seeing and hearing from rising generation today has really instilled a sense of optimism and progress for gender equality and been a celebratory way to close the collaboration between UN Women Regional Office for Asia and the Pacific, the Embassy of France in Thailand, and the Embassy of Mexico in Thailand in this first half of 2021. Looking forward, and as you know, the Generation Equality Forum is culminating in Paris from the 30th of June to the 2nd of July. So I'd now like to invite Her Excellency Embassy Ambassador Delphine O, Secretary General of the Generation Equality Forum 2021, to share the last few words about the forum.
Dear all, it is a great pleasure for me to participate today in this event around the involvement of the youth just a few days before the Generation Equality Forum. I would like to thank the French Embassy, the Embassy of Mexico in Thailand, as well as UN Women Office for Asia and the Pacific for organizing this contest along with their partners. I would like to express my congratulations on the partnership established with UN Women and Mexico, which has been successfully extended to Thailand and the Asia-Pacific region, with the participation of several representatives of Thai ministries, the private sector, and civil society. I am thrilled that the youth had the opportunity to express themselves in an artistic or creative way on the 6 action coalitions of the forum and to give their vision of equality. I want to say to all my congratulations for your commitment to equality reflected in your participation in the contest. The intergenerational dialogue is the DNA of the Generation Equality Forum. It is crucial to address gender equality with the perspective of both girl and women feminism in order to cater to the real needs. This is why the Forum has a unique governance model that does include the youth in its core. Young feminists have a seat at the table, just like governments, UN Women, civil society, and private companies. From this experience, I can tell you that working with young people provides us with new perspective. They bring their aspirations and demands to the conversations. They challenge us. They are the true generation equality, and it's important for us to listen to them as we're laying the basis of a new form of multi-stakeholder international cooperation regarding gender equality. I won't be any longer. I know everyone is excited to know the winners of this contest, whom I warmly congratulate. I thank you all for your commitment and attention, and I hope to see you in Paris from June 30th to July 2nd for the Generation Equality Forum. Please register on forumgenerationegalité.fr. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing your remarks on the upcoming forum, Your Excellency. In closing the event today, we'd like to let everyone know that the works showcased will be featured in the Generation Equality Forum website, which will be linked below. We'd like to encourage as many of you as possible to follow the forum and to attend the Youth Activism Accelerator in July, which will also be linked below. Don't forget to keep your eyes peeled, more content on today's works, and to keep on advocating for gender equality in the ways that you know how. In thanking everyone who has submitted a project, once again, we'd like to bring our collaboration to an official close with a montage of the eligible works that were submitted, as well as a short video message from Thai musician and activist Pat Clear. With that, stay safe, have a wonderful day, and enjoy the closing works.
Hi everyone, this is Pat. Thank you for having me and sorry that I couldn't join the event. First, I'd like to congratulate all of you who successfully made it to this final round of the competition. Gender equality is something we've been talking about for years and years. But it is only in these recent times that we started seeing a ray of light with effective actions and some tangible changes. I am among a lot of women who work in a male-dominated industry. I know very well what those challenges are. I used to fight quite aggressively about this. I even misguidedly complained about gender inequality in music industry and how things were harder for me to achieve compared to my fellow male industry peers, only to realize that that sort of action would never actually move the dial. Because expressing through anger and hatred won't be beneficial for any of us. But love and compassion is the only way that we can improve and reform the situation. The secret to any kind of success, as we all know, is to never stop. However, for me, this is no longer a constant fight to achieve gender equality, but it is my inner infinite love for my career and what I do that has kept me going. It is indeed the fire in my heart that shifted the leverage. I insist to keep going, to never compromise, to never back down from my beliefs, despite the tides that don't particularly turn my way. There were times that I almost quit, but now I'm glad I did not. Because slowly through the years, people actually started to see past my gender and recognize me through my work. It is still a really long way to go for me, but I am also doing it in the hope that things will get easier for the new generation of front women and female musicians in the future. It is already very powerful that all of you are speaking out through your creative works that resonate to your souls. I hope that you will continue doing it in your daily lives and not just for this competition. Because the true meaning of this campaign lies along the journey, not in any target destination or specific end results. And that's how we can create a more sustainable impact. We should never stop being actively engaged to raise this gender equality awareness because it matters so much to all of us, and to make their lives better for those who've been taken advantage of just because of their genders. And lastly, this will be one small but mighty day for all of you. Today's result won't change who you are no matter what. The real world is out there for you, and it can be better with a new generation like you guys to keep the fire going. So please be your own hero, in your own way, of course. Stay true to who you are, and little by little, you can change the world. So, good luck and enjoy your life journey.